Greetings, mortals, and welcome back to last stream.
So, when last we left off, we were killing succubi and orcs. And, surprise, surprise, we are still doing that. So, I'm going to, I think, get one more level here. Or do I want to explore? Maybe I do want to explore. I can at the very least check what's on the next level. Might be dangerous. I'm getting pretty good experience, so I'm not sure I want to. You know what? I'm going to... Oh, I actually only have one more heal left. So no, I'm gonna stick around because I think I can get at the very least close to the next level. But given the amount of damage that the thief is taking, oh shit, that's bad. So Chill came out. So the unfortunate thing is that if we get confused, we actually have higher damage output than we have defense right now. What on earth? Why is Why are you saying the video output is low? It's weird because, again, I'm looking at my stuff and it looks like all my numbers look fine to me. No, don't miss. I don't see a problem. I don't. This red bar is appearing over the thing, indicating that there's a problem, but I don't see a problem. I don't see it. It looks fine to me. I think this might be lying to me. Anyway, let's see. We've got 1800 SP. And so I have a couple of goals in mind. I'd like to be able to one-shot things like the succubi. Because being able to one-shot them is a good indication that I'll be able to two-shot the next enemies that I'm going to run into. Because they're going to have so much more HP. The HP values of the enemies starts really skyrocketing around this time, I think. So I have concerns about that. But I'm also concerned about the fact that my monk is already dealing significant damage if he gets confused. And I don't want my characters to be one-shotting each other. I really don't want them damaging each other at all. I'd prefer for my defenses to be higher than my offenses, honestly. So the hope is to kill the Desert Phoenix before it gets a turn. And you did. So I'm actually going to be ignoring preempt on the monk because I think that I'm going to give him the 150 preempt item. The other thing that I want to check is I know that alligators have really high preempt. I don't know if they actually have over 150 preempt. That's actually a pretty high amount. So I'm going to go ahead and take a look and see what kind of enemies I actually have to be concerned about outspeeding once I get up to that item. Now that item isn't going to come for a while, but I can hopefully get to it tonight. We're just going to be, for today, we're going to be doing another, probably a short stream, maybe an hour or two. And then we'll be, I'll probably be sleeping. Let's see, so... I don't know how much progress I'll make in an hour or two, unfortunately. Okay, more enemy stats. So we're gonna have to steal ourselves some more stuff soon, some more HP. So what was I looking for? Oh, right, the speed values for things like alligators. So preempt for the Dark Pixies is 200. So we're not going to be outspeeding them. Forest Gremlins are pretty high as well. The Evil Vines I can outspeed. So, cannot outspeed the Samurai. Obviously, I can't outspeed this. Alligators are 300 preemptive, so we're not going to be able to outspeed the alligators either. They're the same speed as Mind Flayers. Which is unfortunate, but it's okay. We'll be able to outspeed most things. And we're going to slowly but surely get ourselves... I'm kind of farming EXP here, but more importantly, I'm actually farming SP, because right now, what I'm looking for in terms of SP is to get access to sort of automatic insta-give potential for the monk, where the monk will pretty much kill anything that he attacks for a considerable time. And that's going to be really important, I think, because I'm about to reach... I guess I have 2 more levels, don't I? I'm only on level 10, right? Yeah, I'm only on Abyss level 10, so... Make sure that I've actually explored this area completely. Unfortunately, you do get way more consumables than you get actual, like, gear. Yeah, my monk can definitely just focus. I feel like my monk can definitely just focus on damage for a while, because he's literally not taking damage. He's sitting at full HP all the time, which is actually really surprising to me. I don't think I've ever had a monk sit at full HP like this before. So we've used up all of our healing steals, but we still have 70 MP to play with. Save the game. And I'll be able to get the Deserter's Boots at some point as well in here, which will be nice. That'll also help me get the steals off later. I believe that you can steal a second copy of the ring that you get off of beating this place from the boss of this place. Unfortunately, I can't actually find the boss. I don't think the boss is actually in the guide for some reason. It's an extremely detailed guide for everything, including like the super bosses, but then for whatever reason the Abyss is not given any detail. It's like, okay, well, here's the things that you can take out of the dungeon, and that's it. That's like the entire section. So, I do not actually know the stats on the boss or anything like that. But I don't think I'll need to really know what the stats are for the boss. I think if I can comfortably take the enemies toward the end of this dungeon, I'll probably be able to take the boss as well. So I'm regenerating 8 HP per round. We have a pretty long way to go. Getting 50 per round, so... I have about 30 fights left. I'm wondering actually whether I'd be better off shrinking the party for this place. The problem is that the person who's definitely the weakest in the party right now is the thief. And I feel like the optimal thing to do would be, if I was gonna do this, is just to solo with the monk. But the problem is that if I'm soloing with the monk, I won't be able to ever bring the party back together to level up. They're not going to be able to catch up later. And while I don't need the Grey Mage and the Knight to necessarily be high level, I do need the Thief to get to a decent level so that it can survive in the fight against the boss, because it needs to steal from the boss. So I think I'm going to just continue as I am. It's also more... See, the thing is that AoE damage, for instance, is, you know, deals... It doesn't matter how many targets you have, it's still dealing all that damage. And because monks scale very well, I feel like if I dropped everyone else from the party and was getting 4 times the experience on the monk would be leveling fast enough to basically just obliterate everything. The only problems that he would have are with enemies that are gonna, like, poison him or something. I feel like poison and instant death would be the only considerations that I'd have to worry about if I had the monk soloing. Other crowd control abilities aren't actually dangerous if you have sufficiently high stats. And so I think that if you did have a solo monk, a solo monk is actually, I think, stronger than a monk that's in a party. Because all that extra experience is being very, very well utilized. Monks scale very well. So, but no, because of the fact that I need to steal from the boss, I'm pretty much gonna want to just keep the whole party, because the thief does not scale great. And as long as you're having the leveling speed of the monk. Oh, what is it? Basically, I don't think a thief getting double the experience is going to be more valuable than a Grey Mage and a Knight. Okay, so the 2 that can actually attack first are going after the Phoenix. They got it. It then used an attack, which is great. And good, the other one's down, so we can just use some macro. And everybody is pretty healthy right now. So our durability is okay. But maybe 15 fights away from leveling up again. So I wonder if I'm going to level first or if I'm going to get my thing first. The other possibility is that I have AoEs, So one possible way to approach the situation is actually for me to build up the AoE potential of the Knight and the Thief. Because I have access to 3 restorations per level. So Zeal only does 75% weapon damage, I believe. But let's take a look here. Okay. So Zeal does 75% weapon damage. I don't have anything better than Zeal. How much does this cost? It costs 26 to use, which is quite a lot, honestly. No. I mean, if I was going to use consumables, maybe. Oh, shit. I attacked the wrong one. Oh. Luckily, it woke me up. So Void goes out to the monk, which is good, because he was just sitting there at full HP. And let's see here, 69%. How much do we have? 3,100. So, we need 20 more fights-ish to cap out skill points. It actually is too bad that I can't turn off spell animations, because turning off spell animations would help a ton. Because, like, when you're playing Disgaea, you just turn off your spell animations once you've... Actually, one thing that I like in the most recent one that I played... Let's see... Just fast forward. Oh, okay, so I have... Oh, wow. Holy shit. This changes everything. Oh my god. This is so beautiful. I love fast forward. Oh man. If only I'd known. If only I'd known, people. Oh, this is great. Alright. Boop! Freeze! Ah! No, sleep! Void! Stabbity! I think the macro will automatically attack that one, so... find out. I think that the macro actually attacks the last target on the one. It does not. It doesn't do a consistent target, apparently. Boop, 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 boop. Boop, boop. Oh man, fast forward is so cool! I'm actually gonna go. No, don't miss! Okay, heal. Boom, boom, boom! I am so happy. This is even better than like spell animation skip because it looks so cool. There's animation skip, and then there's everything just is moving at quadruple speed. Boo! Boo! Wrong target! Oh shit! The monk's confused! Kill the succubus with fire! No, don't miss her! Zoom, 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 zoom. Oh man, I could have saved so much time. Wow, this run would be probably half the duration. Okay, what I need to do is attack this one. Ooh. Oh, lovely. Go ahead and crit that thief. That monk is in deep damage now. Okay. Okay, so everybody's at okay HP now. And for some reason, now that I'm on fast forward, the monk's taking a bunch of damage. It's like before I put myself on fast forward, the monk took no damage at all. He was regenning all the time. Now it's like, oh. Why is my monk almost dead? I love fast forward mechanics. It's so cool. Oh shit, that was the focus. I don't have it on the chat. Miss. Lovely. Oh yeah. I'm the master of missing. I think I'm gonna need to invest in some accuracy at some point. Okay. So we're getting close to the point where I'm gonna pop down to the next area. We're also getting close to the point where we can get the 4K thing for the monk. And one nice thing is that even though we don't have it yet, we don't have the item yet either, and we still have another whole area to get through. So I'm not going to just skip the next area, I don't think. I'm going to definitely want to fight there, especially now that I have fast forward. This changes everything. Because I was thinking of fast forward being like something to fast forward through cutscenes or something. It just didn't occur to me that it's something where it's like, oh, let's just pump the speed up of the entire game. Let's fast forward. Didn't occur to me that fast forward involved fast forwarding, you know? I'm a talented individual like that. I like to think outside the box. So, luckily, my monk is demonstrating pretty good resilience. He got dropped down to 100 health, and I don't remember how. I guess he just got nuked a bunch of times by enemies over and over again. Well, that's going to require 2 heals to fix. So we're on our last legs here. I'm gonna try to hit the next level. Given my rather limited success developing my instigate potential, I think I'm going to go develop my I'm going to develop my magic defense another level. Because I feel like the next room is very likely to have packs of 5 of those Desert Phoenixes. And if those Desert Phoenixes are hitting for 20 to 30 damage each, that's an unacceptable amount of damage. Boom. Okay, we level up, and we have 3,000 yada yada. I'm gonna go ahead and save this. I'm gonna heal, and I'm actually gonna head downstairs. So we got an iron shield and a rune cloak. A rune robe, hat. Rune robe and rune hat doesn't help me any. I'm gonna go ahead and equip this iron shield on him. Oh, I got a rune cloak as well, right? So you can equip that. Gives a little bit of extra defense, specifically the magic type. Got a long sword, got a broadsword. We can now equip a long sword. And that is +4 attack power. Okay. So right now it looks like we're facing pretty much the same enemies. The key is whether we're facing the same enemies plus like spiders or something that I don't want to fight. Because these are obviously not the strong packs for where I am right now, because this is a relatively weak pack from where I was. Iron gauntlets. We've got an iron breastplate. We have iron gauntlets available. We're going to go ahead and equip those. So extra attack and accuracy on the monk. So we're going to put ring gauntlets on him. It's going to drop his int a bit. Here's a question. Do we want the ring mail? No, the ring mail isn't as good as rope. So we can equip the Iron Helm on him. He's now got 119 defense. I'm going to go ahead and save. Even if I do run into spiders here, I'm not that concerned about it. Alright, the thief isn't actually at the defense caps he needs to be at, so the thief is the exception to the rule here. He just needs to dump points of defense. Okay, so he is set. He should be okay for a little while. And I think I'm done exploring this place. Get another level here, or do I want to... Okay, shit. We've got Widowmakers. So we do have the spiders here, and they are very durable. And that gas just hit him for a lot of damage. Shit. He just got re-paralyzed, and that's really bad because he's the only one who can remove poison. He just got... Oh my god. I'm gonna lose this because they just keep hitting the target that's poisoned. He's gonna die. Oh, I guess he wouldn't have died if not for the fact that I'm an idiot. I could have used a healing steel. Oh well, it's fine. Okay, so we are at floor 11. Floor 11 is a floor that is very unfortunate for us. We're going to have to increase our defense some more. So what defense do I need to deal with those ghasts? So 128. Okay, so that should have them resolved. So 128 is the number to beat. Do I want to keep pumping points? $128 is the point to beat, and we aren't able to get there with the monk. So, here's the question. I'm going to be running into those spiders. Spiders are assholes. So, the problem is that I'm going to be dealing with those spiders for the foreseeable future. I think that I'm better off staying here for longer because I'm not going to be fighting a huge number of those spiders. Those spiders will be a relatively minor aspect, whereas I think that if I keep going, those spiders are going to become more and more common because a lot of packs involve a couple of those spiders. So, if I'm looking at the ghasts, Guess of 32. I was kind of expecting to run into the sea creatures before I started running into the ghasts, actually. Because the ghasts are actually stronger. The ghasts and the spiders, I think, are a stronger enemy to deal with. Okay, we have access to Fist of Fury now. We're gonna take it before I forget and give him something else like an idiot. He has a few options here, including Silencing Strike. I think for now I'm gonna get Critical Strike. We're going to get Smite, Berserker, and Warcry. And I think I need to wait for something like 8k to get the other thing. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Okay, so the knight now has enough magic defense to take the freeze from these down to 0, so that's good. Fortunately, I don't have enough defense on Thief to protect against the knight, but that's okay. Do I want to... I have... The next level is going to be a reasonably big upgrade. I'm going to go ahead and see what's in the next level in terms of enemy packs, because I'm going to have a pretty big DPS upgrade when I get the item. Got a Rune Cloak. Okay, so unfortunately, while it did do normal physical attacks, it doesn't matter if it gets one more turn to do... Okay, good. So no poisons are coming out. God damn it. There we go. So no poison coming out here. We can just kill these. I don't actually know how much... God, this monk is so tanky. He's just taking the hits and laughing. Okay. So, we got about 400 EXP there. And there we go. We got the bullseye ring. So, that changes everything. So, his damage output has just tripled. And so, he's going to be able to one-shot enemies now. And we got access to a Rune Cloak, which gives us a decent bit of defense on him. It's not enough to trivialize any of the enemies here, I don't think, but fortunately this is a spider-heavy area. Okay, we're gonna have the monk attack the target that nobody else is attacking, because that's the sensible thing to do. We've got a quartet of poisons coming out. And that's a pretty good amount of mana that we're going to have to expend on that, but that's okay. Given that there's so many enemies that I have to get through, I figure that we should be okay. Iron Boots on the monk? No, Iron Boots... Thief, who really needed him. Alright, so... save this. Okay. So my hope... I don't think that those things... Yeah, they can't kill, unfortunately. Oh shit, he's paralyzed. That's the target that needs to remove the thing. I guess I'll just pop over here. And we're set. Okay, so we're fine. No problem. No near-death situations here, not at all. Okay. So the quartet of hits is enough to pretty much insta-give any critter for many, many, many levels. And I think we have fully explored this map. Unfortunately... Oh, whoops, I'm attacking the same target. Didn't make a huge difference. One poison is fine. 380 EXP. One thing that I do like is, in a lot of games that have this kind of a system, if an enemy does 0 damage, which most games with this kind of a system, well, not most, I guess, but many games that have this kind of a system allow the damage to be dropped to 0. And if the damage is dropped to 0, in some of the, I would say, better programmed ones, it prevents any application of any effect if it does 0 damage, because if it does 0 damage, then clearly the enemy didn't actually hurt you, right? So, like, if, for instance, a spider is biting you, then it's not capable of applying its poison if it doesn't actually successfully pierce your skin. So, anyway. So I kind of like those kinds of systems, particularly because of the fact that it makes armor more like more similar to the way that armor frankly is, where it's just really ridiculously good. The ability to make it so that the enemy can't hit you with their weapon because you're wearing a full suit of armor is actually a surprisingly effective combat strategy that for some reason people have been doing for a very long time. I'm going to go ahead and completely heal, and I'm going to check what's in the next level. I'm going to have a difficult time. Maybe I don't want to check on the next level quite yet. So the thief is at 6k. I think it's 8k for the thing. It's tempting, but I think I'm better off. This is battles that go by reasonably quickly, but then involve a huge amount of resource expenditure. To remove the poison effects. So I think I'm better off staying here and getting whatever experience I can before I move on, because the next area very likely still going to have these damn spiders, and in future areas I will also have to deal with spiders. Oh, good, miss. So, we can save the game. The wise spider dies best. So, the hope is basically to get high enough stats that I can handle the, let's see. Shit. Fortunately, he just got paralyzed, which means that I'm gonna have to go heal at the place. Maybe not. Okay, he's no longer paralyzed. So we can cure our poison the old-fashioned way. Bum, bum. So I'm gonna stay here, run back and forth really, really fast. Whoa. Shit. That's not good. I should actually use my stun. Fuck. That's bad. That's really bad. I'm just like getting perma CC'd. I'm gonna die. I don't think I can survive. Oh, actually, maybe I can. No, he's asleep. I don't think I can survive this. So, we're gonna cure the monk, because he's the lowest. We're gonna use a war cry. So we've stunned the two targets that are putting me to sleep. I can't survive, because the 3 HP is not enough to actually reach the thing anyway. Oh man. The mass CC paired with the mass poison is a really, really good combo. And I say, fuck it, we're going downstairs. The sooner I can get away from these enemies, the better. Good riddance. Okay, so we're now fighting a pair of ghasts, which is a pack that I never fought in the previous level. But luckily, I think the ghasts are actually the highest damage enemy that I'll have to face for a few floors. We got steel mail. We can go ahead and equip that on the thief, I guess. Whoa, that is a huge upgrade. You got steel mail on what else? Wizard's hat. Steel spear. Oh right, I got a steel axe. Okay, so we got a steel spear. We can go ahead and equip this. Got a wizard hat. That's the next level. And we got a bunch of ghasts. The ghasts are actually more dangerous. Because the ghasts have paralysis, which actually lasts throughout the next battle. Whereas this guy has an effect that he sleeps me, which is more dangerous in the actual fight, but not against enemies that can't really hurt me. Wizard's robe. Okay. So, +4 defense, +3 magic defense. Not bad. Steel helm. Probably should have focused a few targets, but oh shit. I want my bunk back. There we go. Got the monk back. Don't really care that much about the robe. Okay. Save the game. And I think that's possibly everything. So we've got more Widowmakers here, and considering that I am still fighting Widowmakers, the now question is, do I want to continue on again? Because these Widowmakers are really nasty and really unpleasant to fight. I'm going to go ahead and see what's on the next floor. Ooh, shit. Okay, good. I didn't fall asleep. That's the most important thing. He's the one that's killing that spider. There we go. Done. So. And we got a magic staff, which isn't super relevant. Alright, so we got a pair of ghasts here. Boop, 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 boop. And these aren't giving great experience. This is a weird floor that kind of feels like I'm getting less experience than the previous one. I'm gonna see what's here. Got a protect ring, and a steel shield, and a wizard's cloak. Go ahead and equip the wizard's cloak on him. I'm gonna go ahead and equip the steel shield on him. And we got another wizard's robe, which is completely useless to us. Unfortunately, we are still fighting these assholes. And I say unfortunately, but I guess it's not actually unfortunate necessarily. It does mean that the scaling for the enemies is actually slowing substantially if I'm still fighting these things after 3 levels. So, my concern though is that I'm going to get like, skyrocketed into some really potent enemies. So we got a Link Whip. No. Steel Helms. I like those. So we've now reached the point where the difference between the tiers is smaller than the difference between the types. He is still using rusty gauntlets. Wow. Okay. Save the game. And steel mail and a wizard hat. Go ahead and equip the steel mail here. It's a pretty massive increase, actually. Okay, so we're actually running into the next tier here. So Stiff Breeze is coming out and dealing 1 damage to the target, who is obviously going to hit 1 damage too. Wait, how much damage did those Lobos hit for? Shit! Whoa! Whoa! Whoa, baby! That was a much harder hit than I was expecting. Holy shit. Well, we're definitely not progressing further. Holy shit. So, silver wolves are dangerous. That's a 90... Oh my god. So, I need 20 more defense to handle that. That's a problem. Oh, is it? It is, but it's not as much of a problem as I thought it would be, but still, Jesus, that's... We're 75% of the way to the next level. We can hopefully fight something weak. Unfortunately, in the context of this dungeon, the definition of weak is poisonous. Luckily, that thing didn't successfully poison anybody, so we can get out of here clean. And yeah, I was not expecting to completely skip all of... We skipped all of the ocean creatures, it looks like. So I don't think the ocean creatures are on the list. Which is unfortunate, because it means that we have an entire... We're a tier ahead of where I thought we would be. So, what does that mean for me? Okay, unfortunately this means that I need to go hit up my place. On the plus side, it's right there. Okay, so we can save the game. I'm gonna pop a war cry. God damn it! How much more do I need? I guess I can find out here. Oh shit, did I hit the goddamn accident? Started my Purify. Okay. Starting the Purify is very expensive. So unfortunately the Griffins also... Okay, so we now have a ninja as well. So the ninjas have applied darkness. Okay, their grenades are completely weak. So magic defense is not something I need right now. But... So these things have about... They have 43 attack power-ish. Unfortunately, the next set of enemies is going to have even higher. So what's their PM stats? The ninja has 120, those have 20 something. That is very bad for me. I think somebody's gonna die here. Yeah. Okay. So, this is a really dangerous pack. And things get worse at Mount Gera. So... I had high hopes that I'd be okay for a while because I was expecting to go through the entire Oceans catalog. And unfortunately, that is not going to happen. Oh, whoops. Okay, good. We killed it. 487 EXP is nothing to shake a stick at. Boop. Okay. We have one more heal available to us. We're going to be able to level up. And when we level up, we'll be able to dump it into physical defense. But honestly, one level into physical defense is not even close to enough. These things are hitting really, really hard now. The Griffins have 45 attack power. So the big question is 45 attack power about what I can expect from now on. So like, am I catching up to the new standard, or is this going to continue accelerating like this? Shit. Okay. Okay, we're now level 19. Speaking of which... let's take a look. The thing that I want. Healthy living is pretty good. I should actually have both of these, because increased crit is also good. Do I want... okay, so these cost 6,000, so I do actually have enough. We're gonna pop steroids on him. And agility, accuracy, and preemptiveness. I think we're going to do agility, accuracy, and preemptiveness. Okay, so our current enemies have a preempt stat of 24 and 28 respectively. The Griffin might be a bit of a lost cause. If I can get to 25, I can outspeed the red slimes, which puts me ahead of just about everything in the fire zone. And that's good. So let's try for 25 speed. I haven't been active this entire time. I haven't been streaming this whole time, just so we're clear. Okay, let's see. Do we want to get our preempt up to 25? Yes. We're gonna get our preempt to 25 on him, and then we're gonna put the rest into defense so that he doesn't get obliterated. And here's the question: do we want the knight to be at preempt 25 or not? I don't think he has enough utility right now. I'd need to invest in MP for him to be terribly valuable that way. I'm going to go ahead and just pump defense so that when attacks come to him, they're not terribly relevant. Now, in terms of the thief, he has easy decision. Now, we have access to either more preempt. If I get him to 33, he can outspeed the specters that are coming up. And that will also put him ahead of the griffin. So let's go ahead and put him up to 33 preempt. Okay. Now, the other thing that we want to do is figure out what we want him doing with his time. He can't do hard CCs, but he can do soft CCs. He can blind enemies, but I don't think that it's worth it to go after MP for right now. I think that we need to continue pumping his defense to try and get him up to a high enough defense value to realistically survive. Okay, so Monk is saving up all of his stuff for defense. And, okay. Okay, so the Griffin is going to go first regardless, so we're going to kill that with him, and we're going to... I guess I didn't actually get my steel stuff yet. It's fine. I'm going to put out a war cry. Oh, no, it's not. It's not going to go out first regardless. I completely forgot what enemies I was facing. Okay, so for some reason I thought that was a ninja. You know, ninjas, griffins, same thing. Indeed. Soft CCs are no fun. Okay. Okay, so... And this current stat that we're trying to beat is probably going to be the red slime's attack power. So we need 200 defense. That's not a problem, right? 200 defense. Easy peasy. Huh. There's no way that they're gonna kill that. So what I'm gonna do... Oh, I think that's game over. Yeah, that's game over. It's a good question. There are a lot of consumables down here, so maybe something from those. I'm not an expert. I'm not an expert on the dietary habits of ninjas, to be honest. Okay, I need to heal myself, and I'm going to see what's on the next level. This is really dangerous. We got steel boots, so we can finally get rid of his copper. Ooh, good, we got steel gauntlets as well. I think that it would be cool if more games paid attention to that kind of stuff. Like, they actually had dungeons that made sense in the sense of, like, what is the purpose of this room? Right? Like, the people who made this room made it for a reason. What is that reason, right? And stuff like that. I think that would be really cool. I think that that's a factor of a factor of dungeon creation that isn't given the attention that it deserves. Okay, so he's only getting hit for 23 now, so we should be... I think we should be okay on this floor. Because 23 isn't that much. So we want to kill ninjas. I'm going to go ahead and use a war cry. Healing steel. Unfortunately, we just got darkness, which is bad. There we go. We got one of the ninjas down. And I'm actually going to take down the other ninja first. Because I'm probably not going to be killing this at this turn anyway. So I might as well... Fuck. Yeah. With all this... Well, with all the CC running out, it's like goddamn impossible to... Having an enemy that has 120 speed and a blind is unfortunate. Okay, so we got the high potions and the antidotes. And the smelling salts, and the muscle relaxers, and the eye drops. Okay. Unfortunately, we are still running into these damn Widowmakers that are drawing huge amounts of mana out of us and not really giving us anything in return. I guess experience. So, save this. Magic potion. Hurricane bombs. Blah blah. So how fast are the bats? They're only 150 speed. I can outspeed the bats. Eventually. When I get the 150 speed item. I don't remember what the level of the dungeon is. So we're gonna go ahead and try to kill the ninjas first. We're gonna go ahead and do a steal. Warcry comes out and does practically nothing. That's great. And we can continue trying to kill these ninjas. Okay, so that's toast. I'm gonna have him guard because he's probably gonna miss anyway. And I think that Griffin hit way harder than the Lobo. Got it. That was 640 experience, so that's good. Those things are a rough fight, but they at least give EXP to match. We're 20% to the next level. So he's actually over 2k. Is there anything at 2k he needs? No, not really. I'm gonna go ahead and take smoke bombs. We're now fast enough to get ahead of just about everyone in the enemy packs with him. So, not the ninjas, but everything else. So we're gonna go ahead and use some smoke bombs. These silver lobos actually are not terribly durable. I'm gonna go ahead and completely heal. And we still have 2 more of those, so that's good. Dun, dun. Gonna try to kill that. I'm actually not going to use his stuff yet. We're gonna use smoke bombs first. Nice. Darkness on all of them. And they're now hitting for 9 on the knight. So if we get another level or 2, we'll be in good shape defensively. Well, with some characters. Other characters might have some slight difficulty. Okay, that's a problem. On the plus side, they do have the ability to use that grenade, which is just about a complete waste of time. Unfortunately, the blind that they have is a really big deal. Okay. So we're using smoke bombs. We didn't get a darkness on anyone important. Well, we got it on the ninja, I guess, which... Okay, so he's actually going to kill that thing. And then everybody else's attacks are basically negated by the fact that he gets the blind off first. On the plus side, the monk does have his damage output available. So we should be able to pin this thing into the ground. Okay. So if we invest into defense heavily enough, then we should be able I'm pretty sure that next level we're not going to have any difficulty trivializing the damage output of these enemies. These enemies are hitting for about 20 damage on most targets, which is not a huge amount. And we got darkness out, unfortunately. So... I'm gonna use this heal and steel because he's really, really low. Yay, we actually got a kill. Okay, there we go. So there's another hard-fought 400 experience. I'm just going to use a war cry. Everybody is blind. Lovely. So interestingly enough, smoke bomb seems to bypass the blindness. The hit chance probability of blindness doesn't seem to impact the smoke bombs. So I'm actually very curious how blind works, because I'm pretty sure that the literature indicates that blind quarters your accuracy, but if it quartered my accuracy, I would have hit that thing substantially more than I did with the monk, because the monk's hitting 4 times. And he doesn't have 100% accuracy, but he has enough accuracy that he would have hit it at some point. Oh, excuse me. Ooh. I'm dying over here, apparently. Unfortunately, it's some sort of holiday here, so people are burning huge amounts of random nonsense outside. Mostly paper. this country turns into country basically gets set on fire every few months when there's any sort of Chinese holiday going on, as people burn shit because they just like start dumpster fires and barrel fires. They actually have barrels pretty much under all of the blocks for people to set fires in, because otherwise they'll just set them in the streets. It's a strange thing. And then the funny thing is when, like, then when Malaysia does any sort of, or not so, Malaysia, when Indonesia does any, like, what's the word? When they start cutting for crops, because farms are more valuable than lumber, what they'll do is, rather than just cut down the jungle, they'll set it on fire. So when the Indonesians start setting their own country on fire, then everyone complains. But it's like, you guys realize how much smog you guys are creating when you set your own country on fire, right? Like all the fires under the block are not any better for your lungs than the fires the Indonesians are setting miles away. But that's the key, is that's, you know, them foreigners doing it. When locals start setting fires, that's fine. Okay, so we got a double stun, which is nowhere near as much as we need. Luckily, the ability set these things have is actually really strong, but I don't think that the ability set for the next group of enemies is going to be comparable to these. The blinds are really nasty. I'm gonna heal, and we are gonna head to the next area because we ran out here. So this is scary times because we don't have... Okay, it's just silver wolves. That's good. That means that we have another opportunity to zero out their damage. So we got a quick crossbow there. We're on floor 16, so I guess we have a green thing to get here. We have a Mystic Hat, so that's 2 more defense on him. It's 4 damage reduced. Mithril Helm, hello. And Mithril Armor. So we're gonna go ahead and pop both of those on him. So he's up to 162 defense. We got a Mystic Cloak. 152 defense on him. Mystic Robe. 3 more defense. So all of these defense boosts have made it so that our Knight is now taking 1 point of damage. Grey Mage is taking a pretty decent amount. And Thief is, of course, crying. We got a Mithril Spear. So that's another 3 attack power, as well as some extra preempt. And this is a lure ring. Okay, so we've got the lure ring. I guess we might as well equip it. There's not really any reason not to. It'll increase the rate at which we get random encounters, which we want, really. Okay, so both of them are faster than those now. That's good to know. That spear was a good investment. Okay, it's stunned. Yikes. Those stiff breezes. Okay, 1 damage to the thief. I had forgotten just how fast that was going to happen. Holy shit. Let's see. We're going to go ahead and use a war cry. And a healing steel. So we've got 3 stuns out. He's hitting pretty hard now. Okay, so this is good. That's less good. The only one that I stunned is also the one that I... I didn't save. Shit. I'm used to having the ability to at least walk a few steps, but with this lure ring on, it goes so quick. There we go. Okay. Unfortunately, the monk is blind. So, 402 EXP. And the Grey Mage should have enough to pick up something here. And we're going to give him steroids. So that's plus 10 attack power for him. And then it crits him and kills him. Okay, well, life is sad. And then you die. So... what do I want to do? I think I'm low enough on resources that I should just use this. Okay, so I haven't used this one yet. Okay. I'm gonna double Warcry. I'm actually gonna double Warcry and Smoke Bomb. Because the Smoke Bombs will at least get some damage out. Oh, nice! That hit every single one of them. Beautiful. So we're gonna kill the ninjas first. Okay, so Sordrell's gonna kill the ninjas first. Okay, so the ninja isn't going to be blinding me anymore. And there we go. So we got through that with a hefty mana cost, but no damage. I think we're attacking. Okay, luckily, once again, there's no blind on my monk. So, we're going to level up very soon, which is good, because we're going to have plenty of resources available to us. Let's go ahead and... what am I doing? It's better for me to just smite the griffin, because that'll actually work. We can try smiting the ninja. We don't need to smite the ninja, because the ninja's going to die. Who am I attacking with him? Please don't be good. So we're attacking the ninja. All is right with the world. And there we go. And this is a big enough pack to go ahead and use a war cry. So I only need 15 to outpace these things, but I'm basically on a race for about 200 defense right now. The wolves that I'm fighting are kind of the least of my concerns. The biggest concern is probably the demons in the next area that have a pretty good amount of HP. Smoke bombs. Fortunately, so did they. Okay, we got a stun on all the ones that are not CC'd. Or, sorry, aren't blinded. Unfortunately, that doesn't stop them from using other shit. And it apparently doesn't stop them from fucking critting and making me cry. So, we've got a stun on this ninja still. I'm having the mage cast defensive stance on himself so that he survives. And I'm gonna smite this wolf. So all the attacks went out to targets that can take it. We're going to go ahead and kill this Griffin. He's going to guard because he has nowhere near enough durability. I'm going to smite whatever. And we're going to use Healing Steel. I want to get the Grey Mage's HP back up. God damn it. I guess I should have blinded. So we need to keep the healing steals up to make sure that his HP is as high as possible. On the plus side, I think we're right next to... Yes, we are. Okay, so we leveled up. And we can put a couple points into this, and all the points into defense. So 162 defense. He's now at 160. Excuse me. And I'm done with pre for him for a while. We don't ever need magic defense. So we should be okay here. And I'm going to see how much damage we take from these things. That's a 1. Okay, so the Lobos are now hitting for 1 damage. I doubt the ninjas are as well, but okay, that's a 22 coming out to the Grey Mage. So the ninjas are going to be hitting a decent bit. So ninjas have 43 attack power. So I think one more level will do us. So if we can get one more level here, I think we will be 100% prepared for the fire enemies. Let's see here. So I do need to check the int values of things because the stiff breeze is gonna... The stiff breeze is indicative that AoE damage spells might be a problem for me moving forward. Okay, so we now got a double Griffin pack. This is the highest damage output pack that there is, I think. And we're going to go ahead and use a smoke bomb. Okay, oh right, I equipped that spear, I forgot. I don't need to use smoke bombs on these packs because I'm going to be trying to stun them anyway. So the monk is pretty damn tanky now. He can take a little bit of damage over the course of the fights with the stronger enemies, because the fights tend to be very short but involve high damage output in that time. But then once we get into the protracted Silver Wolf engagement, it smooths out very quickly. Just going to go ahead and use a Healing Steel. And I think that generally speaking, I'm better off using my healing as opposed to my crowd control now. Before, the crowd control was really important because it reduced the amount of chances that I had to just get killed, and because I'm taking so much I was taking so much damage from them that there's a lot of probability of me just having bad shit happen to me. Whereas for these fights, I'm better off, or sorry, now that I've got the stats for it, I'm generally better off using it for healing. But not for the double Griffins, I think, because I think that with 2 Griffins, there's going to be a huge amount of damage coming out. Because they do have both Stiff Breeze and a really, really, really strong physical attack. So... and we are... So, in 2 more areas, I'll be getting my stuff. Oh, I didn't get my healthy living. So do I want +5 to all these? +5 preemptive. It's 16. I don't think 16 is going to help me any. Yeah, no. 16 is not enough. Well, actually, if I do get 16, then I'll outspeed the Silver Wolves when I'm when I have one of my effects on. But I think I'm probably better off getting Healthy Living or Precise Strike. How much damage? I think I'm gonna get Precise Strike. I don't anticipate running into the Fire Demon for a while, but wait, we got through this without too much difficulty. So, we're almost to level 21. So, 29 damage. We need 15 more defense on the monk. No, we don't. No, we don't. We only need 14 more damage on the monk. Because we're not trying to zero out the damage, we're trying to bring it to 1. So that means we need 176. Oh shit. That was a lot of deeps. But I need to go after the ninjas first. I'm gonna go ahead and Warcry. I'm actually gonna use a Warcry on both of these characters. I'm gonna use a Healing Steel. Okay, we got a Warcry out on everything, and even better, our monk isn't blinded. So I'm going to have to start investing into damage on the monk soon. He has a 30 attack power ring right now, and that 30 attack power ring is great, but it prevents him from equipping the, whatchamacallit, the speed ring that I'm going to want to pick up soon. So, I don't need the healing set. I'm going to do smoke bombs. It's a lot of darkness. Oh, nice! Okay, so we're getting about 700 experience for those big packs. And I think we can take a big pack like that without any CC. Unfortunately, we then got crit. I think I'm going to move the Grey Mage to the back row, actually. Maybe the middle row. Let's take a look at my... Yeah, he has 138 defense, so he's not safe right now. I think I actually am going to give him Steel instead of Mithril. That gives him the ability to equip that. He could get +3 to his defense by just equipping Wizard's Gloves instead. Oh, the knight's over 6k again. I don't think he has any skills that he needs, though. I'm gonna take Zeal just because why not? But I don't anticipate getting too much use out of it. So, how far are we? 52%. I'm hopeful that when we do get introduced to the fire enemies, that it's relatively slow and that we don't have access to the demons immediately. So... try to smite this one. I'm gonna use a smoke bomb. Darkness on both. I think I'm gonna... Yeah, I think he's gonna die of poison. It's possible that I'll successfully get... Nope. Not anymore. Well, actually, no, it is. No, it's not, because I'm gonna have to take at least one step. I think I might want to go downstairs because I'm low on resources now, And I feel like I want to save this, walk in here, and just go downstairs. I need to take off the lure ring. Because right now, I don't want it on. So we're taking that off. Another Mystic Hat, I don't need that. Wow, that's a lot of treasure boxes. Mithril Helm. So we got more Griffins and Silver Wolves. Nice. And it even attacked the monk, which is good because the monk doesn't really worry too much about chip damage. So Mithril Whip just came out. Is the Mithril Whip better than Mithril Knife? Ha! Okay, save this. Mystic Robe, Mithril Shield. Ooh, Mithril Shield and a Mystic Cloak. I like that. So we got another Mithril Armor. Go ahead and equip the Mithril Shield. That's +3. Got another Mystic Robe, which we don't need. Do I want one extra? I don't think I need one for sure defense. Got a Mystic Cloak for the Thief. That's actually huge. So he's got 153 defense now. Mithril Sword. +6 attack power, not too bad. And that is what I was afraid of. Okay, so we have a Fire Spirit. I need to kill that. I'm gonna go ahead and Warcry. Do I have enough speed to... That was 55 damage. Oh, shit. These slimes have ultimate cosmic power. Okay, so... Okay. Yeah, this was 417, so... I'm thinking about leaving and going to the next level, actually. I don't think it's a good idea, no. I need to get some extra attack power on my monk before I can leave for the next floor. The next floor is going to be where my monk gets access to his sort of ultra combo. We're going to equip the lure ring. But in order for the monk to properly exploit the ultra combo, he's going to need to have a higher attack stat. So basically he can equip the accuracy +150 ring as well as the preempt +150 ring at the same time. And that would give him a shit ton of damage coming out at the beginning of the fight. The problem is that he'd have to remove the Ogre Ring for it. If I remove the Ogre Ring for it, that drops his average damage by about 120, If we drop his damage by 120, then he's not actually killing anything with his attack, so what was the point of attacking? That said, that's 120 extra damage that's going into another party member, which does actually give them kill potential on certain enemies. Unfortunately, these bats are probably going to tear me to shreds. They are definitely going to tear me to shreds. These fire packs are stronger than I anticipated. So there's a lot of "it cannot be" right now in terms of the way this is all playing out. Let's see, if I attack the fire bats. Okay, I stunned the only one that matters, so that's good. Okay. So we got a healing steal out. Shit. Well, I'm in trouble. Let's see. The most dangerous enemy now is him, probably. I'm gonna try to get the slimes. Oh, good. I'm so happy. Boop. Sleep? So 655 experience. So I need 5 more fights like that. Those are easy. Okay, so I've definitely pinned myself between a rock and a hot place right now. But I am hopeful that the next area won't have any, like, new additions, or that the new additions will just be more enemies from the fireplace, which won't be too big a deal. And that basically I can get my speed up high enough so very tough. Okay, more cracking out. He's got his wisdom increased. I'm concerned about that. So, save the game. And we're low enough on resources that I'm gonna just use this. So we have 2 more heals that we can use here. Go ahead and war cry on him. And we use smoke bombs. Wow, that's perfect. So everything got hit by stun. We're getting there. Shit. Boop, boop. 320 experience for 2 enemies is not bad. Unfortunately, we are going to have to get our magic defense up at some point. I actually need to try to do a work right here. And one of the nice things about the smoke bombs is that in addition to the other effects, it also deals a little bit of damage, so it sort of softens up the enemies just a little to make them a little easier to put down later. Doesn't make a big difference if your only damage output is a monk that's just going to overkill everything if it hits. But if you have split party damage the way that I do right now, it's valuable. So we can level up, and we need to figure out how we want to. I feel like we want to get to 33 preempt with him. 33 is an important level because that allows him to outspeed the specters. And let's see, he doesn't need magic defense at all, so let's just pump physical defense some more. I'm gonna go ahead and give him some HP. I'm gonna give him some HP. And we're actually just gonna pump physical defense for him as well. So he's up to 172, he's up to 170 something. And for him, the blazes are hitting him pretty hard. So if we assume that we want to defend against the slimes in a sensible way, we're going to need to have at least 200 defense. And if I do get that, does that protect me for a while? Protects me from the Woods of Despair enemies, but I think the Woods of Despair enemies got skipped as well. So Woods of Despair got skipped. We're just doing Mount Gera now. I think the Woods of Despair enemies are considered to be lower level than the Mount Gera enemies. So, with that said, we've got probably the next set is the Forest Tower basement, which is going to have... Where are the preempt stats? Is this preempt? What is the agility? So the Undead Warriors... Actually, preempt is really easy in the Forest Tower basement. Between 16 and 20, with the exception of the Undead Warriors that have an exceptionally high speed. Anyway, in terms of defense, for the Mummy Princes, I have 56, so that's an extra 24, so yeah, I have a lot of defense to obtain. We're gonna pump defense for now. We'll worry about magic defense when we have the luxury to. And as for him, he doesn't need to pump magic defense because he's completely set, and we don't need to worry about preempt or anything because the next set of enemies is going to be slower. So 22 damage and poison. That's a lot better than the abusive amounts of damage that I was taking before. Unfortunately, it's still not 1. We haven't actually petered out the damage of even the enemies from this previous area. And actually, now that I think about it, I don't think the ninjas can actually hurt them anymore, based off of the those values. So we want to just kill off the griffin as soon as possible. Okay, good. So the monk is no longer blinded. Unfortunately, the knight is. Unfortunately, Monsieur Knight is still blinded. So, what we're going to do is, I think, get one more level here, and then try heading down to the next level, maybe. And unfortunately, I don't think we're going to be able to do what I'd like to do. So much damage. He needs to guard. Okay, so, nope. Okay, so Monsieur Thief is at an arbitrarily large amount. So we've already learned Ninja. And I guess we're going to get Precise Strike. So that's going to be a total of 16% increase to crit chance. I think his base is 5, so he should have like a 20-some% crit chance now. We can go ahead and Warcry. We're going to double Warcry, and we're going to use a Healing Steel because I think we'll need it. That is a hell yeah, we need it. 1 stun, and we are faster than him even with a monk. That is 1 slow boy. So, the time has come. Boop. And we can now kill this. Okay, if I can get 9 more points of defense on the Grey Mage, then we'll trivialize the Griffins. And we'll officially only be 1 area behind. That's some poopy. I guess I should have just used a smoke bomb, but it's all good. 35 damage on the knight, though, is... that's a lot of damage. He's got pretty decent defense right now. So, let's save this. Luckily, with fast forward active and the what? And we kill it. How dare you not die, sir? On the plus side, this lure ring will also come in handy in the future if I decide that I want to start farming anything. But I do wish that I'd known that those two enemy types were going to get skipped. I figured that it would skip the humanoids. But I did not anticipate... Oh my god. That's 120 AoE damage right there. Hopefully we don't die before we get a turn. That is dead before getting a turn. I think I'm going to actually change. Did I not pick up silence trigger? I did not yet. So, how many do you guys still have? I only have one left. So, I have concerns about the fact that if I do go to the next area, I don't have the damage output on Sordrell. I need to pump up his attack power, basically, in order to get the ability to consistently my brain is breaking. I'm kind of tired right now. Let's see. What am I trying to do? Oh, so basically I need to increase his attack power before I can go, before I can equip that other ring and have it be effective. That said, it would allow me to equip someone like Varan, for instance, who's actually quite fast. I actually could equip... Instead of the current setup that he has, I could give him... No, actually, I wouldn't want to do it to him. I'd give it to probably him. So I could give him... Because he already has a pretty good amount of attack power, I believe. He's 78 attack power. So... 78 isn't... I mean, that's not enough to get one-shots. It's enough to help out considerably. But it's not like it's gonna be one-shotting the bats and preventing them from messing up my shit. I'm gonna go ahead and cast a Purify because this is gonna be a long fight. Leave it to the macros now because So the next item is that accuracy ring thing. I think the next item after that is actually a bubble ring. Which is another item that is really most beneficial to the monk. He really has a lot of ring slots that he would benefit from. Oh shit. That would be great if monks just had a shit ton of ring slots. Like, all the other characters can wear normal gear, and then the monks are just like, okay, well, I'm gonna equip 8 rings. It's gonna be great. Okay, so I'm going to, I think, just go rest. I'm not gonna be leveling up before I continue, so I'm gonna go ahead and pop over here. We're going to unequip the lure ring. Save the game, pop in here. We've got a pair of bats and a pair of slimes. Okay. So, here's the Quicksilver ring. So this Quicksilver ring is something that I can equip on him alongside the Bullseye ring to hit very fast. Now, he's not going to hit very hard with that, which is why I'm giving the Ogre ring to him for now, because he's pretty fast. We got a Mithril Gauntlet. That's good timing, actually. So we got another point of attack power. The problem is that we're going to be hitting, like, babies with our attacks with him. So that's a fire demon. And I do not have enough damage if I miss it. So we've got fire demons down here. Those are fun and exciting. So I reloaded back to floor 17. Unfortunately, I reloaded back to floor 17, but this is... I saved after I had used the thing, because I'm a dope. Do I want... No, I think that, honestly, it's better for me to just come down here. And grab this stuff. So we've got a demon and a bunch of bats. I'm gonna use a war cry. That could have been really bad because I forgot that he's not super fast right now. Oh shit! That wasn't what I intended to do. I accidentally hit down twice. Okay, so luckily I did not successfully flee. Alright, so with the Quicksilver Ring, I can guarantee 400 damage at the start of the fight. In addition, I can then give the Ogre Ring to the Grey Mage, which allows him to do a decent bit of damage. So the advantage of this is that while he isn't one-shotting anymore, he's still doing a considerable bit of damage. Not as much as I'd like. Sad. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and save. And we've immediately run into a pack that's going to be extremely bad for us. We don't have the kind of damage output right now to survive it, really. Oh, he missed, so... We're gonna do a double war cry because oh god. We need these stuns out. Okay, we got 2 stuns out and then the un-CC'd demon just punched. And death came for us. Okay, so this is a relatively rough section for us, as you guys can clearly see. I'm gonna go ahead and equip the fire ring on him and the lure ring on him as well. I'd like to get rid of my blind, so this is a good pack for me. So with this pack, I can sort of reset just by killing the ninjas, and then there we go. So the blind is off on him. Let's see, unfortunately, he's only hitting for about... what? Somewhere around 360. Maybe a little bit more. And so next level, he definitely is going to be investing into attack power. So with 1 level invested into attack power, you know what? I think this actually, much as it pains me to admit it, I don't think that this is the optimal setup. So what I'm going to do instead, because this ogre ring is currently just required for him, we're going to take this Quicksilver ring and we're going to put it over to the person who's going to be doing, one of the people anyway, who's going to be doing AoE crowd control. So we're going to give it to the knight for now. So that puts the knight at the top of the speed. And let's see. We're going to use a war cry. Smoke bombs. Perfect. So I think 4 attacks is sufficient to get the give there. There we go. Okay. Now, the other thing that this does is it also allows my knight to attack at the beginning. So now, instead of having 2 people that can attack before these, I have 3. And that would be really valuable if any of them could hit the broadside of a barn, but apparently they all suck at life. Alright, so Grey Mage is... I'm gonna take Silencing Strike, because that's something he might need eventually. So we're saving the game. And I'm a dope. I need to swap that ring over to the Grey Mage now, I think. No, I don't even War Cry. I'm gonna guard though. Stealing. Okay. So, Kamanaten can... Oh, I guess he's not Kamanaten anymore. Just random Grey Mage. He can heal himself back up. Have him attack. I'm gonna see how much damage... I don't know why I did this. This is a bad idea. It's like the worst of all possible ideas. Okay. Did that exactly the inverse of what I should have been doing it. So, I should have had the guy who's definitely going to get the kill go after the one that I need to have die. Okay, we got that kill. We're going to go ahead and do a War Cry. Okay. I'm gonna try to smite one of the fire bats, and I'm gonna use a smoke bomb. Because if that thing hits me, I'm dead. No War Cry came out, but we got a darkness on it, and it's dead. Heal. Okay. Bum, bum. Go ahead and War Cry And okay. So he can't outspeed the goose, but he can outspeed the other thing. As long as the war cry comes out. So, we need a war cry. I'm actually not going to use the war cry on him. Okay, we got the stun. So the bats have exactly 150 speed, by the way, so increasing my speed by 150 does put me above them. But they're not something that you can normally get outspeed with, like, normal stats. That's just... Okay, we're gonna do... Oh, nice. Okay, so I think that's going to be it for tonight. I'm going to finish up here in this battle, and then we are going to call it for tonight. And later on, I will continue on. So we've got to get, I'd say, about 2 more levels before we can get out of the fire area. Oh, we actually have 6,000 XP, so let's spend that on him first. And we can give him 5 agility, accuracy, and this other stuff. And I think that's probably in our best interest. So he's now got how much? 16. So that might actually allow him to be a little bit faster than some of these enemies once we get the war cry out. But I don't remember. I'll have to check their stats. So anyway, that's going to be it for tonight. Thank you everyone for watching. It has been a pleasure to murder everything for you. And I hope to see you again next time.